Let's be honest. Rainbows are surrounding us. You literally can't go anywhere in this whole world without possibly passing or creating on purpose or not on purpose a rainbow. How is this possible, you might be asking? Well, all you really need is moisture and light. Take this water in this here water tube. Say my mouth was a ray of light. What would I create if I went like this and this? A rainbow.
Why here? Why now? Because this is the time and this is the place. We're chasing a multi-arced rainbow, also known in the scientific rainbow chasing community as a
supernumerary.
Supernumerary. So we started in Missoula about 10 weeks ago. Then from there we headed south to Provo, Utah, a journey of about 740 kilometers. Soon, due to a miscalculation in our humidistat, we found that Provo is actually in the middle of the Great Basin, specifically the Utah desert. What turns out, what we thought was a flaw, was actually a broken instrument. We headed north, and then east, and then north again. And soon, as the humidity began to increase, we found ourselves at the crest, the Columbia crest, with an average rainfall of over 13 feet a year. If that supernumerary wasn't here, it's nowhere.
Saw a baby possum down there.
How old?
Young.
We travel by car
A lot.
Right. Activities are very important when you're on the long chase to keep your mind focused on the task at hand.
Chewing sunflower seeds, playing games.
Identifying roadside flora and fauna.
Yeah, remember that dismembered armadillo we found down in the bayou?
TJ.
So strange how his head was
I
300 yards down.
Stop. I don't want to think about his dismembered
Well, as if
head.
someone picked it up and moved it down the road.
I don't think
why
anyone
would
picked his head up and moved it down there. I'm not talking about this. We take readings of the moisture in the air using the humidistat.
Plus, it's a calculator. Gizmos, very important. Not just for show.
We travel with what a lot of people might consider to be excessive, but you don't get to where we are without most of this stuff. Take, for example, the thermocup manometer. See, the rotating blades provide an accurate measurement of cloud movements, thus giving you a good idea of storm patterns. Also, the hydro regulator, it measures air pressure, thus giving you a good idea of storms to come.
Yeah. This data logger stores up to 100 readings per minute, so yeah. We're not messing around.
Yeah, and Intech, our sponsor, they know we're not messing around.
That's for sure.
That's probably why they supplied us with most of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. They gave me a sweet hat, too.
Yeah.
Colors. What are they? How many are there? An infinite amount. Crazy. Sometimes late at night when I'm drifting into my dream world, I like to create new colors. Reinlow. Purpoo. Blunge. You see, rainbows generally consist of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. What's after violet? Eggplant.
We've yet to properly document an eggplant specimen in the wild. I mean, conditions haven't been right. Molecules haven't been primed. They've been
Subprime.
Right. It's hard to get a proper specimen sample out there with all the greenhouse gases. And that's exactly why we're here. Consider these two vials of air, okay? First, air sample 8. Notice how dirty it is. Notice the discoloration. I mean, this came from only 78 kilometers from here, yet the pollution ratio is over 286 parts per million. Now, consider the second vial. Air sample 897. Notice how clear it is. Notice the
That's
pristine...
891.
It's 897.
So
It's
you cross your sevens, so 1.
It says 897.
We did it right after 890. And I remember seeing you do it right before we went into Hooters. Don't point out a tree if it has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
But it has
The worms are on the ground. Worms rise up when there's moisture. Have you ever been walking down a sidewalk and worms have been there? Why? Because it just rained. And that's when you find the moles, which is what your point is, that the moles hunt worms. And when we see moles, it's a good sign because moisture's been there.
Do you have a PhD?
In love. Why are we standing here? We should just move 6 feet, 7 feet this
and then
way.
What? There's nothing there. You don't know about worms, okay?
Tell us.
Right?
Tell us.
Do you?
Tell them.
Do you?
Tell them.
Do you?
Maybe they eat other insects, but I know they don't eat termites. I know moles don't eat termites. A very dirty animal.
I'm starting. Although moles are unable to climb trees and eat the termites, they can still sense it. When these insects come out of the ground or out of the trees, the moles know. Thus, whenever we see mole tracks, we know we're getting close.
How do the insects and worms know?
Nobody knows that.
We decided to split up in hopes of covering as much ground as possible, which was fine with me. TJ is an excellent rainbow chaser, but sometimes when he sits down in the middle of a trek to make new colors like houlage, I think to myself,
Houlage is not a real color. This isn't right. This is not right. I wasn't expecting this, but I'm going to need to harness the rainbow. I need some privacy. Guys, I found it! The Supernummary! The Supernummary! We gotta go find Riley!
These berries aren't just berries. They're elderberries. Now, these berries are highly important to our search because of two things. One, high moisture content, and two, they have an enhanced sensitivity to ultraviolet and ultra-green rays. Now, TJ and I, in our explorations, we have found that when light is refracted off of a rainbow and onto these berries, that they actually taste better. And these berries are delicious. Thus, these berries serve as an early warning system of sorts to the presence of rainbows.
Riley! Riley! I found it!
TJ?
I found the new specimen!
Was that full spectrum? Supernummary!
It was here. I swear it was right here. A full spectrum supernumerary. There was even eggplant.
Eggplant?
Eggplant.
We missed it.
But we were close.
At times like these, it's hard to think about going on.
Stop that. Stop it.
TJ saw it. This only proves its existence. And as long as it's out there, we'll always be
Chasing.
Cut!